Yo guys, namaskaram. So back again with another video. This video talks about some insights which I was thinking about lately. And recently, I attended a meeting wherein there were people from all age groups in their late 80s, in late 70s, early 60s, early 40s, people in the early 20s. And the discussion took a very interesting turn because, on one hand, you see all these people having lived their life, sharing their own unique experiences as to what made them, what hardships, resilience they had in life to just come through at this point and sit with us, considering our history of poverty and a lot of other things. And when I see like a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old, all they have is a lot of hopelessness, partly because of the fact, let's say, a lot of people are struggling with their employment, the recent changes, policies, and all of that. You see that your voice of freedom is being quashed in a lot of these things. Now, a very interesting question comes that how can one cultivate hope in one's life without scumming or giving into like so much pessimism around? A lot of us struggle with that. And I was just thinking through things that what made, let's say, those 80-year-olds, 90-year-olds different than the people right now. Because think of it, when they were in their late 20s, early 30s, they already had a family with two to three kids. So technically, they were having a lot more responsibility than us. And it's not that there was a lot of certainty in life. Right now, you see the internet, you can just switch cities, switch your jobs. It's comparatively easy as compared to their generation. Now, I'm not discounting the fact that a lot of choices that they have made from a climate change perspective and a lot of other things do impact. But you can learn a lot of things from everyone. And I just wanted to share a couple of things. So, firstly, what I really feel is right now, because of the sudden boom of internet, we all are very much connected to with each other, and yet there's a haunting feeling of loneliness within. You have all these likes, all these followers on your social media account, yet there is hardly any one-to-one connect. A sort of genuine one-to-one connect is missing. So we have created these echo chambers and communities wherein people who are just mirroring or voicing the same opinions are just clapping for you, and if there's a slight disagreement they would turn into like hard cold enemies. Earlier there was this thing because people just had to work with those set of people. There were like a lot of skills that one needed to learn. Now I'm not talking about one subduing their opinions and just manipulating the group for their own needs. That's a very strategic thing. But there's a thing, let's say, when you're working for a purpose or a cause, sometimes just keeping aside your differences by engaging in a healthy dialogue and then also still working for the cause, working for a higher purpose. I think we have lost that. That how we can just keep aside our differences and still work for this one purpose, one cause. Because there can be like a number of communities these days, and it's very easy to just switch sides, switch your things. So I think having a sort of positive community is something that we are missing, wherein we can just connect with people on a one-on-one level. A lot of us can cultivate that thing that how can we build a genuine community of, let's say, oneness in a lot of ways, wherein we just feel comfortable being in our own skin. It's not that we have to think all the time that who would backstab me and a lot of these issues. So I think that's one. The second is we can only relate to a community when we have cultivated a sense of depth within our own lives. Right now, because of short attention spams and a lot of quick access to a lot of things, it could be gone. It could be that at the click of a button, you're getting all your immediate needs fulfilled for which you had to strive. Like, it's not a bad thing, but the idea is that we are becoming more and more weak from, let's say, resilience perspective, and we are just losing out all the beautiful qualities that makes us human. The path of resilience, having a sort of grit in one's life to achieve one's goals. We want everything at the click of a button. If things are not working, let's say we just give in within the first 2 weeks without even giving that specific skill that appropriate time. So I think all of this comes down to the level of depth that you hold as a person, and depth of character can only be cultivated when you connect with the greatest minds of our history. And then eventually, let's say if you also have a community which supports your validity, connecting with that. Now I understand that finding like-minded people in your own space might be a bit hard, but I think that is where this power of internet comes in, wherein we're just not supporting a lot of rage bait, a lot of weird content that just triggers on our basal animalistic instincts. It has become a cesspool of negativity. Instead, using the internet to just find like-minded people and then trying to connect with them on a heart-to-heart level. I think that's missing, but probably that's the way wherein you can just not feel that sense of loneliness. And yeah, I think the final thing for this video would be developing trust and integrity within the systems that you work with. I know it sounds very idealistic, but we cannot change, let's say, quote unquote, the government systems. But our day to day dealings, at least with the people whom we know are relatively well educated, we can try honoring that commitment of trust from our own end. Now, I'm not telling you to be naive. I do understand practical realities that how people are a-holes. But I think it's always best that instead of just getting into long term commitments by blindly trusting them, just start these small experiments wherein that trust is built on a step by step level. I think a lot of us do that mistake that we just fully trust a complete stranger without even validating that what his actions and choices have been and how they would impact us. It's all a long term game, and just because of a lack of patience, we are just unable to invest in that long term game. Because the more clickbaity and fast it's our world becomes, the harder it is to find that one to one connect, and a lot of mental health epidemics of loneliness, anxiety would just assail all of us. So I think those were some thoughts which I wanted to share. A part two is definitely needed. I'll write some more things and just share high level pointers which I feel are relevant. But anyhow, you let me know what you feel about this video. I just want to make videos, very short snippets on this channel, and partly just focus on podcasts and let's say some high level book reviews and all of that. But anyhow, I think that could be it for this small video. Do like what limitations you have broken, what type of videos would you want to see next, and I'll catch you in the next video. So until then, this is Debu Pindra from Debu Ki Dastak signing off. Cheers.